Make sure my mic is up.
Ooh.
Gotta get my vocals in. Let me get my... Gotta make sure my vocals are warm. Gahhdcast.
Yeah.
193, we got Bookem Bridges.
Hey.
Who that? Vibe Out, No Limit, Classic, Young Bleed, Master P. This was 98?
Yeah, 98, 97, something like that.
Shout out to all my good people in Oklahoma. We was out there thugging and bugging in 98.
Ooh. Yeah, that's a different lifestyle.
What? Full of that? Oh my God. Shout out to Law in Oklahoma. Shout out to Wichita Falls, Texas. Shout out to Mexican Brickweed.
Hey. Get high.
Hella seeds.
La tabla.
Fly like an eagle and see no evil. That's a free little bridge for y'all.
Yeah.
Gary, you see what I did there? I still got it, y'all.
Cut his money.
Episode 193 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. I am the brother Burns. To the left of me, I got the brother VS.
Yes, to the OP. You know what it be, man. We out here repping that LBE, rocking that MDMA all day.
And today's special guest in the building, we got the host of the Bookem Show, founder of the Bridges Project and the Bridges Project album, which is out now. Make sure you go download that. Jersey City's own Bookem Bridges.
Yes,
Thank you for being here, my brother.
Thank you for having me, fellas. Thank you, man.
This is the first time in Gahhdcast history that we have a police officer
Law enforcement
in the building, and this is the first time in my whole life that I get to just sit and speak with a police officer on a man-to-man, human-to-human basis, and I was very much so looking forward to this.
Yeah, man.
So thank you for being here, brother.
Yeah.
Congratulations on the Bridges Project. I love what you're doing, mentoring the youth. Combining and making sure communication is well between law enforcement and community, which is a beautiful thing that we need. And you rap, which is crazy to me because I'm watching your videos and you in the
uniform,
busting raps, and I'm like, yo, I've never seen this before.
Where are we?
It's crazy, but it's dope, and the people seem to be supporting it. So congratulations, brother, and welcome.
Thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah,
we're gonna go through your history, from high school dropout to getting your GED to becoming a cop to starting the nonprofit of Bridges Project. We'll get to you hosting the Bookem Show, which had a dope guest recently that we're going to talk about. We'll talk about the Bridges Project album, which dropped in 2020, out now on all DSPs. Make sure y'all go download that and make sure you follow at Bookem Bridges. And we'll talk about some of your bars that I thought was outstanding and I want to specifically focus on. But let's go back to the very beginning. Born in downtown Jersey City.
Yeah, it's the old downtown.
In the old medical center. That shit ain't there no more, right?
Yeah, nah, they broke. Nah,
what is that now?
I think it's condominium.
Yeah,
it's
that's
on
what
Montgomery. It's condos
crazy.
now.
Yeah, that's what
everything
it
is.
Not the whole thing.
The
So,
beacons.
yeah, that's what it is. Exactly, right.
Yep.
You know what I was looking at the other day? I seen a video or a picture of the Mayfair. Is the Mayfair now condominiums?
Next to it, right next to it is. Not the whole thing, though.
Yeah, no. I was looking at that thing. That would be dope. Shout out to the Mayfair Theater. If anybody knows West New York, Park Ave, $3.50 movies back in the 90s. And they would have the movies that was out like 6 months ago. So if you was late, that was cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Them, you know?
Still catch it, yeah.
So shout out to that. Now, Bookem, brother Bookem, I saw you on the on the Channel 11 News, WPIX. I thought that was super dope.
Yeah, that was a blessing, man.
You know what I thought was dope? You was up there in some Jordan 9s.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, Bookem, you of the culture, bro.
Yeah.
Of course, man. Of course.
You were a hip hop fan before anything else that you've done, I'm assuming.
100%.
When did that love for music and specifically hip hop start?
Yeah. It came from trauma, man. As a young kid, I used to write poetry. So it was crazy because, I didn't really, I grew up in an element where you really weren't allowed to speak. My mother was strict, man, and my stepfather was an alcoholic and all that. So I really didn't have anybody to vent to outside of friends. So what I used to do, write my thoughts on paper, and I used to, poetry, and I just vibe out. I was a huge Wu-Tang fan. So I just sit in my room and just write. And then one day my stepbrother's like, yo, man, you rapping, bro.
Yeah.
So from there, I was like, really? I'm like, so I would, and then I'd start writing over Wu-Tang beats, over their lyrics. Back then you couldn't get instrumentals.
Yeah.
So I would just rap over their, over their beats. And then, that's how it started, like age 11, 12. And then I really started recording with my family, the Chosen Few, when I was like 13, 14.
And they were all Jersey City natives?
No, we mixed. We had Newark. We had my boy Timax, who was from Queensbridge.
Nice.
My cousin ADM, he was from Weehawken, Hoboken. We had there was a contingency from Union City, West New York.
Nice.
We had brothers from everywhere.
Dope.
Yeah.
And how long were y'all making music together?
Oh man, we still a family to this day. The Chosen Few. But everybody's older, doing their own thing.
Life takes over.
We did it for a while, man. We did it for, I want to say, like the good part of 6, 7 years.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Not consistent, though, unfortunately. Everybody.
Because it was different back then,
And back then it wasn't as easy.
It was hard. We had to solicit. We had to travel,
all that.
And not everybody could.
Even just the recording process alone was
crazy.
A task.
Yeah.
Even getting a beat, like you said, it wasn't so easy to find a beat.
You had to find a producer, man. Yes.
It was a different time now. Now everything is so instant, bro. YouTube has 500 million beats to choose from.
That's where I get my beats from, man.
That you can take anytime. By the way, he makes beats, so
okay, we gotta link up. Yeah,
and I'm his manager, so.
Oh, let's go.
20% that way. 80 over here.
That's a crazy flip.
But we'll talk about that later. Nah, man. But definitely that would be beautiful, man.
Yeah.
So the Chosen Few, shout out to all the brothers in the Chosen Few.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wherever you are, doing your thing, living life, man. God bless y'all. Keep it going.
Amen.
So then, during that time, of you being I guess like a teenager, right? Like 13, 14, 15, 16. You're doing your music thing, but you're not really clicking with school?
Yeah, so I was always a class clown, joking around, just being stupid in school. I was always smart though, I always enjoyed learning, just being stupid. But the reason wasn't, I didn't drop out because of that. I dropped out because my mother got involved in a relationship with a man that was, verbally alcoholic, sometimes abusive. We got into a physical confrontation. It went sideways, and I was in the streets, man. I was just in Staten Island at this time. Okay. I was living in Staten Island on Highland Boulevard. So at that time, I was outside all day, every day, just because I didn't want to be home. I didn't feel comfortable at home.
Right.
So I was just outside.
And it was just you? Or
No, it was me and my sister. My sister, my sister was there. But, I was just trying to avoid anything. Like, I hated being home. It was always an argument, always beef, yelling, out. So I was just outside. So with that, I just one day to the next, I learned in New York you could sign yourself out at 16.
So when I found
that, when I found that out, I was like, I'm signing myself out. I'm gonna go live with my man DJ Quest. And I did that. I dropped out. Made the stupidest decision of my life. Stupid. Just being like, oh, I know it all. You know what I mean?
I don't need school.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I dropped out.
I always think like, yes, stupid decision, but you wouldn't be here now.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
God has a purpose for everything. Exactly. God has a purpose for everything.
You had to do all that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Part of my journey. Yes, absolutely.
So what were you doing from dropout to 20, those 4 years?
Jumping around. Yeah.
Were you doing anything for money?
Yes. So I was working, security jobs, jumping job to job. Man, I did everything. I worked for Eckerd's Pharmacy. I did security with direct response. Securitas, numerous jobs, man. I can name tons of jobs, but jumping around, doing different things, staying from different friends' house to different friends' house. Right. Shout out to my bro JB, Quest. They let me stay in their house. I slept in my friend Hector's hallway. Slept on a park bench one time. Slept in a car. Just jumping around. And the reason why, you might ask yourself, damn, you got friends, you got, people. A lot of it was pride. Like, I didn't want to call nobody can I stay with you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And the other side of it was like, my bros, the ones that I was real tight with, their parents wouldn't let me stay there. So I had to like, my boys would be like, yo, sleep in my car, stuff like that. So that those 4 years, to answer your question, jumping around, a lot of chaos, a lot of, just being lost.
Surviving.
Being lost, bro.
But I think that, again, that made you who you are, right? So I think that connects to the Bridges Project. And you not wanting to see the youth go through kind of like what you went through, right? Because that was tough times, bro. To be 16 and be homeless in, I want to say it had to have been, if you're roughly our age, so it had to have been like late 90s, early 2000s, more or less.
Right?
So that wasn't even an easy time. Not saying it's ever an easy time to be homeless.
Nah,
but back then it was even harder to be homeless.
There wasn't as many programs and places you could go now like there is now and stuff. But absolutely.
So congratulations on surviving that.
Thank you,
shout out to
bro.
anybody
Thank
who
you.
helped you and gave you,
a lot of people, man.
a
A lot of
meal
people.
or a pillow or a blanket or whatever.
Yep.
Then at 20, you decided to get your GED. What was the or was there a specific event or cause that said that led you to say, "Fuck it, it's time"?
It was God, bro. I got born again. I went to church.
Oh, you became Christian?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I went to church. I got born again. Shout to everybody at the Hope Center Tabernacle in Jersey City. They were on Charles Street in the Heights at the time. So my mother invited me. And then I just, I started going to church. I felt the presence of God, man. When I felt the presence of God, it was a crazy, crazy feeling, man. I tell people, man, God is real because I know, because I felt it. You know what I'm saying? And so when I felt that presence and I felt that, I just felt a turning in me. Like it was just a switch that went off. And yo, I was still messing with, I was around some real dangerous people when I was younger, just because I wanted to, not because I'm gangster and I'm that guy, but you know how it was in the music industry. You was around people, and I remember getting saved, but I was still hanging out with my guys from North, like Hooterville, they call it. And we got robbed at gunpoint. And that was right after I got saved. And I remember that specifically was like, all right, God, I
hear you.
You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that specifically, but I took it as a sign, like, I got to change my life. And then from there, slowly, it didn't happen overnight. I started, I got to get my GED. I can't be outside like this. Like, I'm exposing myself. God is going to punish me for this. So, so that, I went to the Adult Education Center in Jersey City on Sip Avenue. It's not there no more. But I ended up getting my GED when I was like 20. I went 20 and I got it like 21.
Nice. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Shout out to you for that. And that reminds me of my sister, actually, who had a similar story where she dropped out young and then a few years later went and got her GED. So shout out to that. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Congratulations to her.
Absolutely.
Congratulations
Sister,
to you,
man.
bro. Yeah, man. When you were young and you was out in the streets and you was outside and thugging and bugging, were you ever like, man, fuck the cops, bruh?
Not that I can remember, bro. I mean,
did you have run-ins? Or were you like...
yeah, I lived in Bayonne, man. So the Bayonne cops was different. They didn't play. So, they was different. I got ran down a couple times by Bayonne. But I didn't really hang out in Bayonne too much. I was in Jersey City,
You was too
North.
smart to do that.
Yeah.
Was trouble
you know
back
how
then.
it was. You couldn't come
you
over
couldn't
that
drive
city.
through.
I was telling this guy, man, when he moved over there, I was like, I don't know, man.
It's different now.
Yeah. Now
there's a whole bunch of cops. Yeah, there's a whole... The demographic has changed. The department is super diverse. Shout to Bayonne, man. I got a lot of bros over there.
I've had no issues since moving there, so shout out to that, bro. Thank
Yeah.
the Lord for that. But you were pretty neutral then towards law enforcement.
Yeah, I never really had like a... Not that I could remember, man. I never really had like a bad attitude towards law enforcement. I mean, I wasn't friends with them, but I just didn't have... I was like...
We were never taught to be friends with them.
Yeah.
And our culture deemed them the enemy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. To some degree, though, because we did, I feel, when we were younger, I feel like there were cops that were cool as hell, too, that were,
There were the exceptions, right?
Yeah, there were the exceptions, but I never really had no serious run-ins with them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's back. Who's your favorite movie villain cop?
Oh, come on, that's easy.
I know what you're gonna say.
What you gonna
He knows what I'm
I know.
gonna say.
Yeah. I know. I already know.
Because I got mine.
I know who it is.
It's Lonzo from Training Day, bro.
There you go, Denzel. Yo.
Oh, he's the best.
He's the best.
Yeah.
It gets no
greatest,
better
bro.
than that,
Come
bro.
on,
It gets no better
But
than
I
that.
think my favorite is the dickhead cop from New Jersey Drive.
Oh, that guy?
I don't remember his name.
Or
the white. The
My
crazy
second
white
favorite is Harvey Keitel from Bad Lieutenant. You ever seen that?
No, I never seen Bad Lieutenant.
Fucking
Nah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
He's a degenerate in that movie, but he's
Yeah.
a New York City cop. He's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
detective.
yeah.
You remember Maniac Cop
Of course.
from the 80s?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yo, classic
Yeah.
horror movie.
Yeah. No, but absolutely Lonzo from Training Day.
He's the hands down. Yeah, hands
Yeah,
down.
he's definitely the best.
Yeah.
He's got to be.
Yeah. Shout out Denzel, man. You
Yeah,
can't beat
100.
that. So at the age of 20, you get your GED. You're now saved. Do me a favor, brother. Tuck that.
You want me to take this off?
Yeah, only because
Want
you're
me to
hitting
take
the
it
mic.
off? Yeah.
yeah,
Let me take it off. I always wear
Please.
it. Yeah, no problem.
Only 'cause it's hitting the mic. And
You wanna wear it, bro?
let me look at it, please. Let me look at it.
He said no. You want to wear it?
I just want to look at it.
Let me look at it. Let me look at it.
He said,
Nah.
you could pass as a cop too, man. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I'm trying.
An Arabic cop.
I'm trying that shit. So now you're 20 years old. You got your GED. You're saved. Thank the Lord.
Amen.
And what's your next step?
21, I get my GED. My life changes rapidly. I get on the job with Verizon. I become a lineman, Spicer. I get my CDL.
Nice.
So my life changed. Then
Right.
I had my first daughter, my daughter Heaven, and then I became a cop in 2006.
Okay.
I got hired in 2005, and then in 2006, after I graduated the academy, I got sworn in. So 2006, and till this date, still there. Going on 19 years.
Always as a sheriff?
Always. I made a lot of mistakes when I was a rookie cop, man, and I,
Really?
I always tell, I made dumb decisions. I went from having no structure to being a cop,
Yeah.
having all this authority. It's like being a sheriff, So it took me a while to understand to take orders from somebody that I deemed was like soft. You know what I mean? Like it's hard when somebody talks down on you and you're like, come on, man. And then it was, no disrespect to anybody, but it is what it is. That's
Absolutely.
And then made mistakes, but I believe that all had to do with my journey as well, man, and where I'm at today. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta go through the valley to reach the mountains.
Yep.
Y'all hear that? Is it my earphones going in and out?
No.
No,
it's yours.
So it's just mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So then all along you're rapping,
Oh, the whole time.
Yeah.
right? Writing
time.
bars.
Yes, sir.
Laying down tracks.
Keeping the music alive.
Yeah.
And you're networking as well?
Yeah, still.
As far as
music
in
out?
the music industry, producers, other
still,
rappers and
still,
stuff?
Yeah. Around this time, shout to my man OT. You met him at the pizzeria.
Yes.
Me and OT got some crazy stories, but he took me to Yonkers. I rapped for Jada. I mean, I was in a big circle rapping for Jada. Jinx the Juvie, I battled him in his own projects. OT took me there.
Wow.
So I was still, in the beginning, still trying to do something. Make, it's my dream. I love hip hop. So yeah, to answer your question, 100%. Yep.
So something I wanted to tell you face to face. When I first started doing my research, and I'm like, oh shit, it's a cop and he raps.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, man to man, I'm like, no way he could be good. this got to be like a gimmick. Something, right? I'm like, nah, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I thought the
I
same thing,
respect that. I respect that, bro. I respect. Thank you.
But then when I heard it, you're good. You're a
Thank
dope
you, bro.
rapper. So
Thank you.
I was
Yeah.
wrong, which is good because thank God.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been here.
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause I can't fake the funk.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
So definitely I enjoyed it. So then what led to you deciding to make the Bridges Project album in 2020?
I just wanted to come out the shell and be a cop that raps and show kids like, yo, listen, you could be yourself. This badge, I wasn't born with a badge. I was born with gifts, talents. I'm a human.
Yeah.
So I said, why should I restrict myself because I'm a cop? And then I read a book called David and Goliath And one of the things that stuck with me was like, yo, you a size 10, but you living in a size 7. You restricting your talents. You're not. So I'm like, why? And if I show the kids, like, listen, man, I could do that. You know, as long as it's positive, as long as I'm, you know, not speaking about things that are negative or acting in a certain way, right? Because I can't rap positive but act like some of these dudes in the street. I could have the urban image, right?
Right?
But I have to teach them that, yeah, it's okay to have good credit. It's okay to have a good family. It's okay to be yourself and just be a good person and rap. You can still rap. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was important for me to rap, to add that element, to be another conduit so that they could see like, wow, this is something I could gravitate to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Shout out to that, brother. How long did it take you to record the project?
It was quick, man, because I'm always writing. So what I do is, you know, now it's on the phone, and I recite my bars all the time. Like on the way here, I'm rapping. You know, I'm in the car rapping. So, you know, for me, it's when I go to the studio, it's not like I'm writing. So I record my songs in one day. I did the whole EP, I think, in like 1 week, only because I had to leave, go to work, come back, you know. But it was all done, mixed, you know, most of it's not mastered, but some of it was mastered, and put it out myself. Everything you see, I did myself. Yeah. Not the record, not the engineering.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything else you see, I did, you know, on my own, by the grace of God. You know.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
You put it out through your LLC.
Yeah. I put it out through my LLC. Yeah, all that. Yep.
That's dope.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, brother, and congratulations.
Yeah.
The Bridges project out
Yes,
now
sir.
on all
Yes,
DSPs.
Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all go download that.
Dropping a new EP soon. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Dropping a new EP soon. I don't know yet. We're gonna have a tentative date soon. It's called Sacrifice. So yeah.
Is it recorded?
Not recorded yet, but all the songs are done, written. You know, I got the hooks, everything's done. I just got everything. Yeah. So now what we're gonna do is lock in for 10 hours. I'm gonna do it in one day. It's 5 songs. 5 songs. That's it. Yeah.
We're in a location called Straight Fuego Studios.
Okay, that might
available if you need to record some vocals.
Yes.
Podcast. If you need to practice, follow the brother at Ethan R711.
Yeah, for sure.
And connect with that. You said no. Oh, it's not recorded, so no tentative date. So I'm thinking probably potentially this year or most likely next
2025.
2025 probably. Yeah.
We look forward to that. Let us know when that drops so we can help you
we're gonna do
get the word out.
Party. Yeah, thank you, my brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, promote it.
Absolutely. Make sure y'all follow the brother Bookem Bridges on YouTube as well. He's got a ton of videos. He's got freestyles up there.
Yes, sir.
He's also got a show called the Bookem Show, where he interviews guests and positive people doing the right thing in the community and outside of the community. So make sure you follow that. So let's get back to the album real quick. Track 2 is called Good Cop. And I believe you had some questions regarding that.
Just some things you mentioned in there, like you said, basically, if you're not political, you won't advance. You know
yeah.
So like, if you're not politically affiliated with anybody, like you stagnate in being a police officer, and that's basically
in some scenarios, that's the truth, man. Yeah.
Wow.
In some scenarios, not all the time.
Okay.
But my brothers and sisters that are watching this, they'll know.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that in law enforcement, not everything is based off merit.
Right.
You know, you could do the best job, you could be the best cop, you could treat everybody with love and respect, but then you'll see somebody that doesn't do the same and maybe is a load, is what we call them, or somebody that doesn't really honor their oath. They thrive because they know people.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Connected.
So I believe that causes a lot of problems in the rank and file.
Okay.
You know, in law enforcement, I just want to say this, man. There's approximately 750,000 in the nation, right? The major problem in law enforcement across the board, I got cops that reach out to me from the Midwest, Cali, Miami. I'm telling you, everywhere. Through this movement, by the grace of God, right? God gave me a platform. The problem is the problem across the board with everybody. It's the rank and file. It's not even the community. It's dealing with your own people.
Wow.
Supervisors.
Right.
People that, you know, so that's a major issue in law enforcement, man.
How do you feel about like that, the whole thing about the blue line and for instance, you know who Michael Dowd is, right?
Chief Dowd from North Bergen?
No. Michael Dowd, he was a New York City officer that became a detective, and he goes down as like basically the most corrupt cop ever.
Yes, I saw there was a documentary on him.
7-5.
Yes.
The 9-5 or something like that.
Yeah, something. Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
So he was a cop in Brooklyn, and he talked about specifically. There was one point that they asked him, like, "Did you fear any?" He's like, "No, because I didn't fear repercussion because I knew that the department had my back. My partner watching me do all this shit had my back, whether he knew I was right or wrong."
Yeah.
So like that was always my thing. Like, you could be a good cop. And there's nothing wrong with that. But my thing is, if you witness your partner doing some fuck shit, you're just as bad if you don't speak on it.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That's like with anything in life. Not just police.
100%.
Like
yeah.
if I witness him doing some fuck shit, he's not a cop. But if I go along with it, or I don't even say nothing or question him alone,
yeah.
I'm just as liable and guilty as he is.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
But even more us because we take an oth.
Right.
Which sounds crazy. Yeah, we take an oath to serve and protect, never violate anybody's civil rights, do the right thing, right? Me personally, I can only tell you from my experience. That's a great question. That's a great statement. If somebody does something crazy in my presence, number one, they won't do it because they know what I stand for.
True.
Right? So like if somebody knows your morals and your standings and your core values, they're gonna be like, well, I can't do that in front of him because he might come at me or report me. Like, let's keep it real. So like at the end of the day, I've never, by the grace of God, never been put in that situation where I had to check somebody. Because I've been fortunate to, this is me, man. I'm not sitting here blowing smoke up your ass like, yo, Bookem. No, this is me all the time. Yeah, I'm in uniform, I'm professional, but what you see is what you get. Like, I don't put on a show. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
People understand what I stand for. If somebody hears something about me in my department, like, yo, Bookem did this, yo, Danny, Danny did that? No, yo, he's cool as hell. That's the vibe that I get. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I want to be known for.
Right.
And I would never condone somebody to do something disrespectful to somebody. And cops do beef. Cops do. When I say beef, we all don't love each other.
Right.
There's no real brotherhood, sisterhood where everybody thinks that we all eat together, we all celebrate holidays, and unfortunately, that's not what it is. It's unfortunate. Yes, we do have the thin blue line, which really comes from officers that were killed in the line of duty. That's what that comes from, to honor them. But in reality, man, the idea of it is beautiful, right? Like, yo, we all get along, we a brotherhood, sisterhood. But I've been on the side where I've been down and out, and things have happened to me, and nobody shows up. But my friends will, that aren't cops.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So where's the brotherhood? Where's the sisterhood?
Exactly, yeah.
They only there because it sounds good. Not all of them.
Right.
The majority of them do want that. Do want to have that mentality, but unfortunately, keeping it real, anybody that's watching this, they're gonna know I'm speaking facts, that it's unfortunate that that's not always the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Let's give a shout out to all the good police
Yes.
and
One of my
police
good
women
brothers.
out there in the world
Absolutely,
doing the right
100%.
thing for the community and the people.
Yes.
And unfortunately, they don't get the light shined on them as
Absolutely.
much as the negative side, because if you watch the news or whatever, is usually the bad cops that are getting.
They get the shine, and then now they look at me. Yeah, they look at every cop funny. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
exactly. Yeah, you guys are stigmatized.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm
100%.
saying?
So then, track 3 on that album, number 2 is Good Cop. Good Cop. Track 3 is Bad Cop.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any negative feedback or reaction to you because of that song specifically?
Nobody came at me directly, but there are vibes. Not because of that song, but because I'm a rapper and I'm a cop.
Okay, so that was my next question.
Yeah, it's
Because
not
you
even
can, you can
that.
actually speak from the inside looking out.
exactly. Yeah,
Right, but I wonder, do other cops look at you a little?
Right.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
Of course, man. It's like, yo, I'm a rapper, and let's keep it real. The hip hop culture is surrounded by negativity, right? Like, drugs, gangs, violence. Most of it is about that.
Yeah. That's what's freaking promoted the most. Right?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So like what I'm saying is that not every rapper in the world does that. You got Christian rappers, you got conscious rappers, you got your J. Cole's, D1s, you got all these conscious rappers. that also thrive in the industry. But they don't see that. They only see like, not everybody. Remember, this ain't for everybody. This is just for the ones that believe that, have that mentality. I feel the vibes, man. I know what it is. But it's okay, man. It's okay. I'm good with being me.
Right.
Listen, I'm good with God putting me on this platform, in this position, to be able to leave some type of legacy. Hopefully other cops will come out their shell and be like, yo, I could be myself. Yeah. Why can't I rap? I'm not doing nothing negative.
Right.
You got rock and roll cops that do rock and roll. You got cops that are in motorcycle clubs. You got cops that do all types of things, right? So why you rap, if it's positive and you're not disobeying your rules and your regulations and your standard operating procedures and you're doing what you got to do with your community, then why not? I feel that every department should support their people as long as it's something positive.
True.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Does the department or your fellow policemen and women, do they ever pull up to like your Bridges Project events? Do they participate some?
Not very often. I do have some, but not too many. Remember, it's a community. It's a community thing, right? So it's not a cop thing.
Right.
Does that make sense? So it's like, I get where you're going, like, Bookem's, doing things for the kids, let's show up. But unfortunately, I do have some, but they're not directly from my department.
Right.
It'll be another department or other. Remember, it's a broad net that we cast out, and cops show me support, but I don't really care. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really.
But it would be dope.
It would.
Just to see a stronger police presence.
Right.
If one cop is doing dope shit for the hood and with the hood and interacting.
Yeah.
If 20 cops is doing dope shit,
exactly.
That'd be beautiful. Shout to Blesk, Blacks in Law Enforcement Service in the community. Shout to Youth Legacy Leaders. Who else am I missing? Shout to all the good organizations out there that really dive in. And my man Chris Zemansky, we call him Ziggy, my bro JB. These are cops from all over Union County, Hudson County. We align ourselves for the same purpose, and we have the same purpose. But unfortunately, cops do support it, but they don't. The events, go into the events maybe because they were family or they don't have time. Yeah. Not everybody has the same fire purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so.
Well, hopefully that'll change a little bit.
Yeah. Hopefully, bro.
More support, not only from the police portion, but also from the community portion.
Yes.
I was gonna ask you that. So you said that sometimes you get looked at funny by cops because of your rap or whatever and what you do. How about the normal rap artist, like the rap artist or even the rap consumer looks at you like, wait a minute, you a cop rapper? How does that work?
Yeah.
So like,
I get the same thing you guys said. He gotta be whack. He gotta be whack. Yeah. So I start rapping. Obviously, my raps aren't. I could still go hard. You know what I'm saying? Still rap, but it's positive. So it's never gonna be. People want to hear the gun played. You get what I'm saying? I still got metaphors. So once they hear there's a message behind it, a lot of times they're like, oh, okay, this is dope.
Yeah,
and you a cop. Yeah, you a cop. This is crazy. This is a dope lane for you to be in. And there are other cops that do it. That's the crazy part. They got my bro CJ in Albany, my bro Saint in Baltimore, my bro from Chicago. Bro, there's so many. Shout out to my bro in California, Forensic. There's so many. We talk, we communicate. Like, oh snap!
That's crazy.
And it's all because of this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Shout out to that. I've heard of like soldiers.
Doing hip hop.
Combining and
there's the Marine Corps. There's the Marine rapper. Yep.
I had never thought about a multitude of police officers. Right. I had never thought about a cop rapping. Period. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, besides Rick Ross and shit.
He's an exception, I guess, or the anomaly. He wasn't even a real cop, bro.
He went through the academy, bro. They got video of him.
Corrections officer.
Yeah, they got him. Yeah, they got video of him. Yeah.
I don't know. I think he was bullshit, bro. I don't know. Like, but I fuck with Rick Ross.
I really don't. So
shout out to him. And You had a line on that song. I believe it was on Bad Cop. I want to say, I might be mistaken because I was watching videos as I was doing my research, so I might have got things mixed up. But you said, I'm a human being and a cop is my occupation. And I really like that line, right? Because we're raised in the hip-hop culture, which, again, we're taught to view police as almost our enemy, as negative. They don't help us. They more so hinder us, lock us up, beat us up, whatever. And I praise the Lord. I've never been through a situation where police beat me up or mistreated me that I can recall. But we were just raised with that mentality. We was in the hood. You don't really fuck with the cops. It is what it is. But we never thought like that's just a human, bro. That's a regular man. You know, he goes home to his family, takes off his badge and his boots, and he's just dad and hubby and whatever. And the next day he puts his shit back on and he's sergeant whoever, and he's a cop again. Yeah, we never thought about the humanizing the officer.
Yes.
So when you said that line, I'm like, shit. And I'm looking at you, and I'm like, this is a regular homie born in JC. Hip hop head, Jordan head, I could tell.
100%.
Just you're us. You just decided to be a cop.
Yeah,
and that's okay.
That's it.
So that line really touched me in a positive way, and I wanted to say thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. I like that you are kind of letting the world know, right? Like, cops are just humans, bro.
Yeah, exactly. You humanizing cops. The police.
And like humans, there's good ones, and there's bad ones,
absolutely.
and there's middle ones, and there's quiet ones. And
absolutely.
Exactly. Yep.
So shout out to that, man. Shout out again to all the good officers out there doing the right thing.
Can I say one thing, though?
Absolutely.
Shout out. Yeah, that's true. You know, I'm the community guy, right? Giving dabs, giving hugs, showing love. Shout out to the cops that are proactive in the community, too, in regards to, like, getting the evil off the streets, and the drugs and the guns. Yeah. Because a lot of times, not every cop, you just said it. Some cops are introvert, right? They don't really, they're not really out there. They're like, yo, what's up, man? Yeah. But they love their community, and the way they show it, keeping that community safe.
Yes.
So they out there risking their lives, getting guns off the street, snatching evil people off the street, making sure that our communities aren't poisoned. You know what I'm saying? Shout to them, man, because they out there, that's the way they service their community. They put their life. So we all do when we put the uniform on, but those guys need the recognition too, and the community needs to know that we do need those proactive cops.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? Not only the ones that are, what's up? Taking pictures.
Out there.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Because like that's what I do. Yeah, that's what I love to do. I am also proactive, and I love to do my job. But shout to those that are in those specialized units and do it to keep us safe, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because without them, it'll be anarchy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. I was watching something the other day about a Chicago community. And the cops, they went in and they did their thing and they made a big bust. And like a week later, 2 weeks later, the whole community was just different, bro. People,
I did see that.
Are walking down the streets now, safe, old people chilling.
I saw that.
Like just the quality of life that was created by this, eliminating the negatives in the community. It was just a beautiful thing to see. And I'm sure there's been other communities that have gone through the same thing.
We oppress each other, bro. When you in the hood, you oppress each other, man. I'm dealing with these kids, and these kids tell me, I make them write on a cue card, tell me something traumatic that you've been through. And all these kids suffer from the same thing, man. They're oppressed in their own community. Some of them can't go 2 blocks away from their own hood because they're scared they're gonna get shot, stabbed, or there's a big homie over there in another gang. That they oppress each other, and it's sad because sometimes these kids are trapped in that square, right? And they never been outside that square for fear of what may happen to them by their own people. Yeah. So we oppress each other, and then in the same breath, people will be like, fuck the cops. In all reality, we need peacemakers, man. We need, because there's big homies out there. Shout to the real ones. A real big homie is gonna be like, yo, don't do that, man. Yeah. This what I went through. I got locked up. I got stabbed. I got shot. There's no benefit to it.
Exactly.
That's what a real big homie, a fake big homie is gonna tell you, yo, man, do
here's
this.
Some bullets.
Yeah.
He's over there.
So we oppress each other, man. You know what I'm saying?
I love that you say that, because when we were coming up, they wasn't even our big homies, right? That wasn't even a term to us.
Yeah,
it was
no.
just
Exactly,
the
yeah.
older
Old heads,
dudes
yup.
in the park,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
OGs.
But now they call them big homies.
And and they would just school us. They would teach us.
And they would tell
give
you.
us books.
Yep. They would
tell you not don't smoke the weed.
Yes.
Leave it to me because they was
Yes.
gonna smoke because they was OGs. Don't do the crime. You know, like they led
Yeah.
us down the right path. And
Yes.
they'll hit you upside the head with a cocotazo if you're
Yes.
slacking.
That's what
And then somewhere along the line, I think because the OGs became younger, right? Like
That's what I think,
I don't know.
yeah.
Everything switched, and the OGs was leading you down the wrong ass path. But I think now it's coming back
Finally.
to where real OGs are doing the right thing. And the
Yes.
positive thing.
Thank God, man.
Yeah, bro. So shout out to that. Another dope statement that I saw. Actually, I think you had it. It was part of a video. It might have been on a sweater that somebody was wearing. I want to say it was on the back of somebody's sweater, black sweater, white letters, and it said, "Working against each other isn't working." And that shit's like a double entendre right there.
Yeah.
And I thought that was brilliant, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
thank you, bro.
working against each other isn't working.
It's not. Yeah,
It's
not.
absolutely not. And then that goes back to what you were saying just a few seconds ago about the hood oppressing
Yeah.
you and the hood oppressing each other.
Yes.
Because we're taught to basically look out for yourself.
There you go.
The
It's a crab in the bucket.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go, bro.
Yeah, brother.
There's an African proverb. It says, "If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." So you know, if you look at Black Wall Street, 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
Remember that story?
Absolutely.
Before that, the black dollar would take a year to leave that community or whatever it was. Think about that. That money was circulated in their own
Circulated throughout the
community.
hood,
They were
yeah.
helping each other, buying into their own businesses and supporting each other until, you know, what happened. They burned it down, unfortunately.
Same thing in Philly too.
Yeah. So we don't support each other. If we were to support each other, everybody if in the Latino community, black, whatever, if we support each other and just say, yo, man, you make it, I make it. There's a position for everybody, right? There's, you know, we can't all be rappers. We can't all be, you know, maybe we get into business management, but the problem is, like you said, crab in the bucket.
Yeah. We're all
We don't
taught
like
that.
to see
It's
each other
either-
succeed.
Some of it is that, and also we're taught like it's either him or me. And
Yeah.
it's gonna be me. And in order for me to
100%.
exist, you cannot exist.
Because you want to be, not you, what I'm saying is because that person wants to be a chief.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know that person wants
But
to be
a
a chief.
chief is worthless if he ain't got no
soldiers.
soldiers.
100. But remember, number 2 is number 1 in their spot. You get what I'm saying? So like, in order for a team to work, the dynamic has to be this. There's a head, right? The guy that's the face of the franchise. But there's a number 2 guy. But that number 2 guy is number 2 guy or female, whatever it is. They are number 1 in their spot.
Yeah, and what they do.
Yeah, you don't have to be the face of the franchise.
right.
You could be number 1 in your spot.
Be just as important.
Exactly. We talk about the 6 man in basketball. You wear Knicks, you know, 6 man John Starks, one of the best ever, right? He was comfortable in that spot.
This guy hates John Starks. I
Why?
love John Starks.
No, I love
He dunked it on Jordan. That's
Oh, yo,
Because
stop.
he didn't
Nah, stop.
dunk it on Jordan. That's why.
Yo, I'm a Jordan fan.
Me too.
brother.
I love Jordan. I think Jordan's the greatest of all time. No question
he
asked.
is.
ain't
He's
dunk
the
it on
GOAT.
him, bro.
He's the GOAT.
But he got dunked on by
did.
John
No,
Starks.
he didn't. 'Cause
He did.
If the hoop was there and Horace Grant was here and John Starks kicked this way, Michael Jordan was over here somewhere, and he's not even in the square of the.
Yeah. He dunked
All
that.
right, Phil Jackson.
No, but John Starks was a gritty motherfucker. God
Hell
bless him.
Yeah, he was
He was a
scrappy.
dope
He
come
was
up
scrappy.
story.
Yes.
Bagging groceries and then making it to them.
You know what I
Amazing.
learned?
Super shout out.
That because he played on the Bulls. You know that, right?
Who,
Played
Starks?
on the Bulls before
I didn't know
the
that.
Knicks.
I didn't know
I
that.
know
on
he
the
played on
Bulls.
Golden State.
He played on the Bulls. That Bulls jersey, if you can find it, is worth more money than his Knicks jersey.
Get out of here.
Yep.
Hit deep.
Wow, bro. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
get
I
a-
never knew that. I never knew that.
I found. I
Starks on
just
the
saw it the
Bulls?
other day.
I'm gonna get a bootleg of that shit. Let's get into the Bookem Show.
Yes.
What made you decide to start your own talk show?
Man, you know, building a bridge of communication with different people. I wanted to bring people that weren't cops. I will have cops. I have had cops. I've had, you know, former chief of police, Shout out to my boy Martin Kahn. We have had people, but I want to have conversations with people that may have had a rough past and changed their life and have a good story and share that story with somebody that's in law enforcement, but not under the scrutiny that they would feel if they were. You get what I'm saying?
In the interrogation.
Exactly. Just have a conversation, and I think it's kind of like a recruiting thing too, not for the people that I'm interviewing, but I think it also allows people that want to be cops. Oh wow, you could actually be cool with me. Okay, that's cool. That's something I could do. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it also could change, like you said, the perspective
of cops,
or take away the stigmatism of the bad cop. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You recently had, and I want to give a quick shout out. You recently had the brother Ben Love on there, and I was telling you before the show, Ben Love, when I was young, and in the streets of Hoboken, was like a mythical.
You're from Hoboken?
I was born in Hoboken,
that's
and I
crazy.
spent my time
That's where he's from. Yeah, that's where he's from.
So
wow.
So that's what I meant when we was kids. It'd be like, oh shit, Ben Love coming, and you'd be like,
bless you, bro.
Like,
thank you.
Yeah, bless you. It'd be like Hova was coming.
Yeah. He was that guy, man. I told him the same thing.
He always had the dope cars.
Yes, yep.
And they normally set Ben Love on him, on the front or on the back, and I don't know. I just always remember him like coming out super fresh, like
nice chain,
like
bro.
Saturday Night Live and shit. Type shit. So when I seen him on the show, first of all, shout out to him. He probably won't even remember me. I was a little Chamac with an afro running around back then. But shout out to him, and shout out that you had him on the show, because he turned his life around in a positive way.
Real estate. Yep.
And if you grew up, again, we're in the same age frame. So growing up, we had our bigger than life personality. To us, he was one of them. But he was in he was doing his thing. You know what I mean? So to see him now be a legal entrepreneur, still striving, still succeeding. It was dope to see him period, alive and doing good. And then to see him on the show. Yeah. Sharing the positivity with you and him bonding, or y'all know each other for years, I'm sure. Yeah,
so I know, same thing, bro. Being a young rapper, he was in the music industry for a little bit. Like nice. He had artists and stuff. But I used to see him, same thing. Bentley, he was the first one in the hood, like in the area, Hudson County, to have a Bentley. Like when they were first out, and
we didn't even know what that was.
Yeah, and he had Benny Love on the plate, I think. So like you said, same thing. Like, yo, I want to be like him. Like, yo, he's getting money. But let's keep it real. He sold drugs. He sold drugs. He was, keys and all that. But he changed his life. He got shot. His story's crazy, man. Wow. And I just felt that's important because, listen, I'm a cop. I could only take the kids so far.
Yes.
I'm still a cop, right? But somebody like you guys that have a story but are not cops, that you take them further because you're like, yo, you're living success.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So show me that. So that's what I want to do, build resources for them. So that's what he did. And he came to my school recently. He came this past week. He bought a nice car out for them. He showed the kids, yo, you could do this positive. So that's why I admire him for that.
As do we. If I recall correctly, I was crushing on a baddie back in the day, an older baddie. I was probably like 10, she was probably like 20 and shit. And I thought I had a chance, you know what I mean? But then I seen her get into Ben Love's white Beamer.
And it was over. You couldn't compete. It was over. What were you gonna
He got that one. He got that one. Wait till the next one. So shout out to that good brother. Is that something you plan to continue, the Bookem Show?
Yeah, I gotta have you guys on there.
Yes,
man.
absolutely.
Yeah, we record in Newark, so I definitely gotta have you guys on there. Yep.
Dope, brother. And then let's talk about the Bridges project, which is something I'm very interested in knowing about and in hopefully participating in. When did you decide to officially begin that project?
That was 2016. It was an idea for a couple of years. Shout out to my boy Blaze, Johnny. He's from Booker T Projects in Jersey City. He had just came home. He did a bid. We used to work together. We were close, very close. And he said, yo, man, what you doing with the community, bro? You building bridges. And it clicked. Yeah. I was like, oh, the Bridges Project. So I was like, yo, I'm going to use these. He said, yeah, yo, run with it. So I always give him credit. I always give him his flowers for, shout out to Johnny. And then, I just ran with it. And then, I'll be honest with you, bro, I started it, but what really really turned for me was when COVID hit. I really went hard with it, like in regards to like the logistics side of it, like promoting it, doing this, doing that, and then I took it to the next level. By the grace of God, like, really, really learning in YouTube University and all that. But it's been going for 8 years. I've been a nonprofit LLC for 8 years now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you, bro.
thebridgesproject.com, correct?
The project, thebridgesproject.org.
.org.
Yeah,
right,
for the website, yeah.
Everybody make sure you go check out thebridgesproject.org. You can link the music. You can link the videos.
Yes.
You can link, I believe, the Bookem Show.
Yes. The Bookem Show is on there.
Correct?
I had a couple of merchandise. Yeah, I had some, but what I'm doing something different now. I'm opening up a different website specifically for merchandise where you can order it from there, and they send it directly to you. So I don't have to have merchandise in my house. It was hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like buying it and then selling it. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
But definitely check that out. Go over there. Check out the music. Check out the videos.
Thank you, man.
Get you some merch. There was another saying to go back. Let me ask you a question real quick that I believe you wanted to ask. That explains where you got Bridges from. Where'd you get Bookem from?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Bookem, my first rap name was Dan O Diminish.
Dan O Diminish?
Dan O Diminish, yeah.
That sounds like a wrestler.
Word.
I know, man. I don't know why. I guess it's because my older cousin on TCF, his name was Admonish.
Okay.
So I guess like Diminish, and then everybody called me Dano. So it's like Dano Diminish. Diminish. Sound like I just thought of it now that he said that coming out, yeah. But that's the name I had. So Dano, Bookem Dano.
Right.
From Hawaii 5-0.
Yeah.
So my first mixtape, shout to Shy Boogs, was So Amazing. I was signed to them. And I got, if you don't know, So Amazing is the same label that recorded Fetty Wap's album.
Oh, no shit.
Multi-plat, yeah, Shy Boogs.
Oh, wow.
Shout to Shy Boogs. So I was their first artist. So my first CD was called Bookem Dano. Then I became a cop. So it's like, all right, book 'em. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I thought you got it from All About the Benjamins.
Huh?
All About the Benjamins?
Yeah. With the way, yup. Nah, I got it from. It just landed, and then Hawaii 5-0. The same was Bookem Dano, Murder One. Yeah.
For all the young people listening and watching, Hawaii 5-0 was a TV show back in the
70s.
And
early 80s.
I was going to say the 80s, even older. The
yeah.
70s, and they said Bookem Dano.
Yup.
All right, now let me go back to what I was going to say before. You had in another video, there was a mantra that stated, we must be a part of the community, not apart from the community.
Yes.
I wanted to commend that.
That's dope.
Yeah, thank you.
And who's coming up with all these sayings, bro?
That's me. Yeah, that's ideas that I come up with, man.
That shows a
they're
real
inspired.
passion for what you're doing.
Yeah, bro. Listen, we're into music, right? You know how to come up with words and phrases.
Exactly, yeah.
So one day I just thought I'd be a part of the community. Then I saw the word apart. I'm like, wow, apart. Instead of being apart from the community, I want to be a part of it. So we started that.
That's a good ass feeling, right? When you fuck with words and you start dissecting them, and then you see like, oh, if I put this over here.
I was on the toilet when that happened.
Yo, no, it's all good. I wrote that shit in the shower.
Hey, bring me the notebook. I got a good one.
Let me write it on the toilet paper. Jail style. Nah, but I love these sayings, man.
Thank you,
I love
bro.
the positivity, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
Let's go back. Let's rewind now back to when you was young and you fell in love with hip hop. Who was your plug for hip hop? Who put you on to like your first hip hop song or your first?
Oh man, Admonish. My cousin Derek, Admonish. Yeah. He's the first one that put me in the studio. He's the first one to show me what a bar was.
Is he a little bit older?
Yeah. He's 50. He just turned 50.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout to Primo. He always give him his flowers. He's the first one to like, yo, when I first told him, he's like, yeah, come to the studio, we'll check you out. And then I never forget, you're gonna laugh, bro. I'm rapping. I had braces at the time. So I'm rapping, and he stops the record, And he goes, yo, my man. I go, what's up? He goes, yo, back up. I'm getting feedback from your braces.
Oh, wow. The metal, wow. That's
Yeah. So I'm like, really, bro? You know, and I'm all into it. You know, I'm like, bro, you just killed my whole vibe. You know. But anyway, that was what the studio was like, man. There was like 10, 12 of us. I was the baby. And shout to Soup, Tom X, Desert Eagle, Admonish, who else? Warcraft. We had a big group, and these guys really, really, really like helped me build my craft, and you know, it was a family atmosphere. So Derek, Admonish, Machado is the first one to really put, you know, music and allow me to record. Yeah.
Shout out to him.
I always say it on this show. Same story. My cousin Anthony. Shout out to cousin Anthony out in Miami. He let me get on his turntables.
And that was it.
That was the genesis of it.
Nice.
Everything we have now
till today. Yeah.
Nice.
So shout out to him.
Shout out to Anthony, man.
Absolutely. When you were falling in love with hip hop, because we all did. Who were some of your favorite artists to listen to or to mimic? Because we all mimicked, you know what I'm saying? I thought I was Humpty Hump for a little while doing the Humpty dance.
You didn't realize that was two people, and that was one person, did you?
No, I didn't know that shit. Hell yeah, bro.
I thought it was too, man. Yeah. He discovered Tupac. That's crazy. Yeah. So I know it sounds cliche, but Pun. Yeah. Pun was but before Pun, it was Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang was major. One of the main reasons was because when I really was going hard with the rapping at the inception of my rap career, I was living in Staten Island.
True. Right.
So I was like, you know, I was able to, you know, see Park Slope Projects. What's the other one? Stapleton, Park Hill. Park Slope is in Brooklyn. Park Hill, Stapleton. Not that I went to the projects, right, to hang out there. But yo, you know, you're a Wu-Tang fan. You're like, yo, they from the, you drive around. So my cousin used to live on Steuben Street. Shout out to Jason. He lived like 4 blocks away. So I was like, wow. But anyway, Wu-Tang, the wordplay.
Did you ever get to meet any Wu-Tang members?
I just saw Raekwon the other day. He was at a Sunday men's conference that I was a part of in Newark. It's all community leaders coming together. He came out. They opening up a dispensary in Newark. So he's opening it with I believe Charlemagne from 105.1.
No shit.
Yeah, so he was there. But he was the only one.
At the men's thing, was Do It All there?
That's him. Yup, Do It All.
That's the one he puts on, right?
Yeah, you gotta go there, bro.
Yes.
If you get an
shout
opportunity.
out to my brother on Instagram. Damn, I'm trying to remember the Instagram handle, but he has invited me to that. So
bro, you gotta go. Gotta go. They always have here and there. They have people, and I was shocked, bro. I was sitting there when they walked in. I'm like,
oh shit!
I tried to, you would.
For your inner child.
Yeah, I'm tapping my feet like
what I do.
Act normal.
Don't say nothing stupid.
Yeah. Nah, but it was cool. It was a great experience to hear him talk. He gave the whole Wu-Tang story, bro.
That's dope.
He broke it down. He talked about team. It was powerful.
Shout out to that, man. Shout out to that good brother, Raekwon, and shout out to Ghostface. They had a community event in Staten Island at the end of August. I believe it was August 31st. That we were supposed to go to, but our plug wasn't there, so we couldn't have got the access that we would have liked to. So, but next year,
absolutely,
or next time, we'll definitely do that and pull up on that.
Yeah.
So Pun, Wu-Tang, but I feel like you grew up before them.
Yeah, Big L. There's so many rappers. You know what it is, man?
You grew up in the boom bap.
Like the 90s. The golden era.
Yeah, exactly. My thing is, I can't the one that was hands down my favorite was Pun.
Okay.
Hands down. Like I followed when the last parade he was in, I would never forget, he was on a sofa, a recliner, because he couldn't even stand up. Yeah. And he was rapping like this. I'll never forget, I followed his flow all the way through the whole parade, bro, because I was such a huge fan.
Were you a cop at the time?
No, I was young. When did he die? He died like 24. He died like 24 years ago, right?
Yeah,
He died like 2000, I think it was.
Yeah, to like 99 or 2000 around there.
It was February 21st.
Yeah.
I know it was in February.
Yeah. No, he died like
crazy?
February
I remember
5th, I
exactly
think.
where I
He
was.
died February 5th, if I can
Something like
remember.
that.
Yeah.
I remember I was in a van with the homie Jack. You might know Jack. He's from Bayonne.
Jack who?
Jack Russell.
Yeah, that's my boy.
Word.
Get the hell.
So we might have linked before
That's
then.
my guy, Jack Russo, tall white boy.
Yeah,
that's
he got
my
a
guy,
sister,
bro.
and his mom is
February
crazy
7th,
as hell.
2000.
There you go. I knew I was close. I was close. Yeah, 2000.
Shout out to the
24
brother
years.
Jack, man. Yo,
Jack's my
yeah,
guy. He's a good.
that's my
Yeah, he's a
guy.
funny
I
dude.
love that brother right there, man.
So ask him when I was rapping in Bayonne. I was, I had a song called Bump That. He'll tell you about that.
He's out. He moved.
Yeah, he moved
I'm not
away.
gonna say
Where's he
where
at?
Just
Oh.
in case. My boy Jack was a wild
crazy.
child.
Yeah, he was.
But
Back in the
business
day.
out
Back
there,
in the
yeah.
day.
Just in
like-
case.
Yeah.
You know,
Yo, guys,
but-
never mind. He didn't give us the address. Never mind.
Stand down.
Stand down.
Not yet, but I take bribes. I'm sell out quick.
He would sell out.
Here, y'all, give you
I
this.
sell out. I'll pull up to the club with that shit.
Yo, this works beauties on Black Friday,
Tell me
bro.
I'm
Yeah, I
not
got
getting
something
in
going on.
Yes, right? And everything. I'll be having that shit out the window. Move. That's why God knew not to let me be no police officer, no politician, nothing. I'll be the first one arrested. I'll be crooked as hell, bro.
Oh, man.
But shout out to the brother Jack, man. So many good
Shout
stories.
to Jack,
I'm
man.
glad-
Shout to
I'm
Jack. I
glad
know him.
y'all
Yeah, I know him.
man.
Yep.
I had mad.
That's my guy, man.
Yeah, we
That's
had
my
mad
guy.
fun.
And
mad
rest in peace
stories.
to the brother Biscuit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the
Biscuit,
brother Biscuit.
no.
Yeah, shouts.
He was cool with Jack. He was always
Yeah, rest
around him
in
in
peace.
passive.
Really? Oh, man.
Yeah, but shout out to that, man. Let's see what else. Let's talk some police stuff, man. I've never gotten to ask a cop questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You said cops be beefing,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Well,
Without
that was
getting
just a fight.
into
Did you see
detail.
the fight?
No,
The
that
North
was my
cops.
next question. Do cops fight?
Of course.
Yeah.
There's
Like
fist
in
fights.
the
Yeah. I mean, listen,
in
it
the locker
doesn't.
room or some
yeah,
shit?
I mean, there's time and a place where if both parties want to engage and get it off their chest. I don't know where every department goes, but there's a spot that they'll do that at. But there was just a video. North police in full blown uniform had a fist fight. Yeah, it's on the internet.
How about? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
How about the rivalry between the police and firemen? Is that real?
That's not real,
That's not
man.
real?
Nah. That I think if cops hate on firemen's the best job, man. I mean,
Fireman's the best job? I
bro,
wouldn't do. No way.
It's amazing.
That's scary as fuck, bro.
Yeah, I mean, when you gotta fight a fire, yeah, it's crazy.
The good thing I say about firemen, there's not a fire every day.
Nobody hates
Right.
firemen either.
Well,
Hell nah. That's the other thing. Everybody loves.
But you, it's like, bro, think about this. You're spending 24 hours with your brothers, the same guys. It's like a dorm. It's like a college atmosphere.
Yeah.
You got TV. They cook for each
Yep.
other. Yeah, obviously it's a dangerous job.
Yeah.
But you're there for 24 hours, most departments, and then you're off for 3 days. So a lot of these guys have secondary jobs.
Exactly, yep.
You get what I'm saying? And you're with the same group. You build such a strong bond, bro, that there's like, you know what I mean?
Nah, you would definitely die for
What's
that.
too old to be a fireman?
When you
Like,
trying to
what's
get,
their age
you
limit?
trying to get
Hell
on?
yeah. Talking about 1 day on, 3 days off?
Bro,
Hell
yeah.
If there's a fire though, I'm gonna be the one holding the hose. To the,
That's scary,
to
bro.
the pump.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand by the pump and hold the hose like, yeah, go ahead, you got it, I got you. Don't worry about it.
You won't run out of water. I
You
promise.
say that. You say that now, bro. But I'm telling you, man, there's something about being a first responder when you put the uniform on and you know, like, yo,
Well,
they gotta get home to his
you gotta
family.
save people, bro.
It's something about it that just makes you think.
If
like,
you're
different.
committed to saving people,
I think you would do it. I think you type A personality that you would be good at.
I love people.
Yeah, I think you would be
You
good.
fucking
at it.
hate people.
It's the Libra thing, you know what I mean? And it's the host thing. I gotta fake the funk. I don't know if I'll run in and save you out of a building, love.
But you got all the equipment, bro. You good.
This guy.
And no, listen, look at the bright side. If God forbid something happens to you, your family's good for the rest of their life, man.
That's true.
You know?
Good for the rest of my life.
He's the worst.
They'll be all right.
This guy's the worst.
I want to be here. I want to be here. Yeah.
You ever had like some exciting shit on the job, like a high-speed chase?
Yeah, I had
without going into detail.
God, yeah. I
yourself,
can't.
right?
No. I never got into a shootout. Thank God. I've had to pull my weapon out a couple times. Remember the sheriff's office? Shout to my department, by the way, Hudson County Sheriffs. We don't answer the volume of calls for service that like a municipality like Jersey City would answer. So they answer. I'm sorry if I touched the mic. They answer like
everything.
House calls, all the. So we do a lot of mutual aid. Like we'll back them up on those dangerous calls. But our focus is like, the parks, county roads, county buildings, things of that nature. But with that being said, we do a lot of traffic enforcement. So because of that, yes, I've been involved in a couple of stolen car pursuits, a couple times where I had to pull out my gun. I won't give you the whole, but there was a time that an individual had a warrant. I was on the narcotics task force for the prosecutors, and we had to, execute a warrant. The target was there, and we had to execute it. It's crazy, man. Your heart's going. You don't know what the hell is gonna happen. You pull out your gun, man. It's a scary situation. Before they changed the Attorney General guidelines, now this was years ago. But yeah, the most recent. I mean, I've been one of the craziest was shout to my boy Nolasco, man. He's in Florida now. But one day it was funny as hell, man. We were driving. We were in a transport van. You drop off prisoners at the jail. We're coming back, me and my boy Nolasco. We driving, we go down Pavonia Avenue by the PAF station. I'm not even exaggerating. 30 people banging out in the middle of the street. I'm like, what the broad daylight, after school, like it was all kids or whatever, just banging out, right? So I'm like, oh my God, my partner jumps out and goes in the middle of the
What the fuck?
So, but he did, I guess he was thinking like, I gotta, so, I had to jump in. That was crazy because it was like a citywide assist.
Yeah.
Like my department came, Jersey City came, we chasing people, we running around. That was one of the craziest like adrenaline rushes I ever had.
That's nuts.
That was nuts. And then the stolen cars, but I don't have too many, insane stories.
Thank God.
Thank God. Thank God.
Even those stories are insane. Shit, I'm not jumping in a 30 fight, especially these badass high school kids. Hell no.
Set fire,
bro.
Kid.
Bro,
he ain't.
But I'll be there.
He'll be there. He'll
I'll be there as a witness.
He'll call for backup.
30 little bad motherfuckers fighting over here. Send somebody.
I think you lying. I think you help out, man.
He said send somebody.
Yeah.
I'm really. I'll go out there and kick ass. I'll be
Get
like,
your
wait
ass
a minute.
kicked.
I get to beat up kids. I got the badge and I'm not gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Oh, it's alright.
Look, you
Nah,
see,
I'm
don't give him a
all
badge.
these
Nah,
kids.
You
nah.
get arrested. Yeah, you did.
Nah, man. Shout out to the kids, bro. What I like lately is that kids are more open to like interacting with the police, right?
Yeah,
The stigma seems to be fading a little bit.
Yeah,
in the next generation,
Yeah.
they seem to be a little smarter than us, and,
Yeah,
and they interact with the cops. So
yeah.
shout out to them for that. They do a bunch of other stupid shit. Smoking. What's that shit they smoke now? Not even
K2.
smoke.
The gas,
The nitrogen gas or
the-
some shit. The whippets.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I never heard
They
of
actually
that.
sell it now where
They
it's
sell
just
it now
it's
in
for ingestion.
dispensaries
It's
and
gas in the
shit,
thing and
bro.
you ingest it.
Yeah, I
And
seen
you
the
get
kid-
retarded.
I
It's the
seen a kid
stupidest
the other
fucking
day
thing ever.
Yeah.
driving, smokes that
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
and then he forgets to stop. And he just crashed into the whole cars in front of him, and the
Fucking
passenger's like,
idiots.
"Yo, what the fuck?"
What the
But
hell,
they,
bro?
yo,
Yeah,
nah,
that's
they
the
smoking that
stupidest
crazy
shit ever,
shit,
bro.
So kids,
It's something that's actually
the youth.
It's
please.
supposed to be for your car, and that's what it's for. But they got it now where you it's fucking.
That
retarded.
gotta be
People's wild. Like we never even thought of like.
Nah, that
I'm
was.
gonna do yo, what's up, man? You want to go do some nitrogen tonight?
Keep it real. That was
That's
white people
crazy.
shit, bro. Sniffing glue and white out and shit, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that. We just stole our parents' beer.
Word, the alcohol and shit.
Fuck that. Let's see what else. Brother Bookem, you got the new project coming. What was the name of the project? The new
Sacrifice.
And why,
Yeah.
why that name?
Sacrifice, man. Because I feel like my whole life is a sacrifice. Me being out here, being a voice for cops is a sacrifice. Because you're gonna get scrutiny, you're gonna get hate. But it's okay because God has a purpose for me. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
This ain't about me, man. It's about somebody else that's watching, somebody else that needs it. And the Bible even says that God will use a rock if he has to. So me to be in this position, bro, to be able to do something I love, and before this, man, there were times that my wife would tell you, man, that I was suffering from depression, anxiety. And I was wondering, like, yo, where's this coming from? Like, I never was that type of dude. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, because I was trying to fit in with a purpose that wasn't really meant for me. So when I found true freedom was, what I found to be true freedom is just being yourself, doing what you love to do, and just not caring about what people say. Because people are going to talk no matter what, man. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's sacrifice. It's a sacrifice. Life is a sacrifice, bro. You gotta, you know, when you really want to do something and you really want to succeed, like your podcast and what you guys are doing, you know, there's sacrifice. You got to spend time here. You got to be away from your family. Everything is a sacrifice. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You recently also made music with younger artists.
Right?
How'd that come about?
Shout to Spaz, G Spaz. He was part of my program, one of the first kids. He didn't want nothing to do with me in the beginning. Lincoln High School, he was part of a program called The Choices. These kids were labeled so bad they couldn't even be in the population with the other kids. I was able to go in there, spend time with them every week on a Wednesday, and we built a relationship, we built trust. I was able to facilitate taking them to the studio and doing a positive song together. So my promise was, I'll pay for the studio time, we'll do a positive song, it'll be a field trip, and then we'll do a video. And that's what we were able to accomplish. My boy graduated high school, had a baby, you know.
Y'all still in contact?
Yeah, we talk here and there, you know what I'm saying? It's not every day, you know, it's not, but I feel grateful to know that he was able to accomplish. His father was killed, his brother was killed.
You're his mentor.
Yeah, well, basically. One of them, he has other ones, right? But God utilized me in that position, so that's the key, man. You just named it. Like, there's always gonna be somebody that plants a seed, right? I had coaches, I had my stepfather that passed away before the one my mother married that poured value into me. And then I'm starting to see the fruits bear now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Was it him or you in that song? And correct me if I'm mistaken, because I listen to a lot of songs, so I might
it's all good. It's all good.
But was it you or him that said something to the effect of, "I'm the seed that Tupac planted"?
That was me. It wasn't. No. So remember, I'm the spark. I'm the spark. Because remember, Tupac said, "I want to be I want to be the one that sparks the mind that changes the world." So I said that I want to be the spark that Tupac spoke of. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that line caught me too, because I remember that interview with Tupac as well.
Yeah, that he said that. Yeah,
that was a beautiful thing, man. So I'm glad you're continuing that.
Thank you.
legacy.
And then at the end of that song, you also said the Our Father.
Huh?
Was at the
Our
end
Father prayer, Our Father.
Oh yeah, yes.
Like that's one of the.
You still go to church, right?
No, I don't go to church. Not because I think everybody should go to church. Fellowship is important. I just don't go because I gotta find the right church. That's not a good excuse though. I'll be real. Shout to my bro Elliot. He's a pastor. He's been covering me, right, with prayer and fellowship. We link up. He's great. He's a great dude. He's from the Lower East Side, Manhattan. Great dude. But I do have to go to church because church is a hospital. People be like, "Oh, I don't need church and whatever." That's nonsense. What I believe is, this is just my belief, right? Church is a hospital. You need spiritual healing. We all do. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care what your life is like. You go there to get spiritual healing. You can't receive that on your own, because the way the devil works is he catches you on your own and he corners you, right? Body shot, bang. But when you're in a group, when you're in a fellowship, you're covered, bro. You're covered. Prayer, it refines you, it replenishes you, and boom. So I'm speaking to myself. I gotta go to church. Church is important. You know what I'm saying? Fellowship is important. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to my bro Eric, who invites me to church often.
Go, bro.
And
go, man.
I'll be honest, I'll be flaking, but I have to go. He goes to Church Alive.
Where's that?
Is that in Lodi or Rutherford?
Go, bro.
Maybe Rutherford. They just moved. So I invite you.
Thank you, bro.
As someone
maybe
who's
one
never
day.
been there, I invite you. And maybe we go together.
Don't laugh. Yeah. You never know, bro. Yeah.
And I want to say shout out to your moms. I don't know what y'all relationship is like now. I hope it's good. But her introducing you to the church was a beautiful thing that pivoted your trajectory.
Yeah.
So shout out to her for doing that. And
shout
to all the moms out there.
Shout the moms, shout the pops. I just lost my father September 21st.
Oh, wow.
This year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I just want to encourage anybody, man. Forgiveness. Forgive people, man. Like, that's something I struggle with to this day, man. I tell you, because I've been through so much trauma, and my tolerance for people that are not loyal or don't give you the same energy you give them, mistreat you when you give them, when you give them from your heart, and they don't give you the same thing in reciprocation. I have a hard time. I struggle with not giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I'm being man enough to say it. Like, I'm praying to God, help me with that, because as I've grown, I've become less tolerant of people that do snake things, right? But then I come to realize too, bro, that people need to be given the benefit of the doubt, and sometimes we on the outside looking in, we be like, yo, man, they acting funny towards me, but you don't know what demons they fighting.
Right.
So I'm learning how to forgive, and I say that story because my dad, he was never there. I'm trying not to get emotional, but my dad was never there for me as a kid, right? He was selling drugs. He was in the streets. He abandoned me. But this the crazy part. He didn't abandon me. He didn't know how to love. My father grew up in a foster home, so he didn't understand how to love. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it took me years, and finally the last 3 years, me and him were able to have that conversation. Nice. And I told my pops, yo, man, I forgive you. I don't want you to feel like, awesome. Listen, I'm here because of you. Like, I have a lot of characteristics that he had. He had a great heart. He just didn't know how to love. Yeah. Very hard man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I encourage people, man, try to forgive. Try to see people the benefit of the doubt. Try to see outside of what they're showing you, because they may be fighting demons. And I struggle with that, man. I'm telling you, I still struggle with that. Yeah. You know what I mean? So
I'm the same way.
You just don't want somebody to die, and you can't. You like, I didn't get to close that. Right. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So go ahead, my bad, bro.
No.
My apologies.
That was the same thing. Sometimes I struggle with the same exact thing.
Yeah, right? It's like, it's crazy.
To go back real quick, and this is just a random question. Does the police force still make you go to therapy when you bust your gun?
Great question. But no, well, they should make us go to therapy. Well, no. Not from what I know. Yeah, they'll probably offer you some type of like therapy. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, when you there's an active shooting, or you're involved in what's called an officer involved shooting, yes, there's resources that are in place to help you get through it. But there's also some repercussions that aren't beneficial to your family. So they take your gun, you can't work. Right. Now,
really?
Because
let off your weapon, they give you like time off?
Well, it depends on the circumstances. I'm sorry, I jumped the gun. So it depends on the circumstances. They might not take your weapon, but they will give you some administrative leave just to help you cope. Right. You just, God forbid, kill somebody, right? Yeah. Like, that's not easy to deal with, bro. Not a normal that's not, So a lot of these officers, they're given the resources. We do have a resiliency program in New Jersey where we have a resilience officer. It's good and it's bad. The reason I don't agree with it too much is because the resiliency officer shouldn't be somebody from your department. Because how do I know? Right. You get what I'm saying? How do I know that I don't get along with you?
It's got to be somebody impartial.
Got to be somebody that doesn't even know anybody. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree with that.
And I feel it should be somebody that's not in law enforcement, because then they won't have any preconceived judgments or this is how I feel as a cop. It should be somebody that's neutral.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, therapy's big with cops, man.
Yeah, it should be.
I go to therapy, I need to
I promote therapy for everybody, bro. Everybody should go to therapy.
Therapy is huge, bro, because it highlights the things that you're lacking, and cops need it, bro. I'm telling you.
Get shit out that you might not say anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of people that I could really talk to and trust and be like, yo, so a therapist is great. But cops look, cops is one of the highest suicide rates. Why? Because they don't, look, we're in a position where you gotta hold all this trauma in. You see death, you see people, you're a social worker, you're a therapist, right? And then you gotta go home and deal with your family. Who the hell's helping you cope? So a lot of these and then outside of that, I'm sorry to say, man, a lot of brothers and sisters don't look out for each other, man. We got to look out for each other. Give them a phone call. Yo, you good?
Yeah.
Is everything all right? Not only when everything is all good. No, if somebody got jammed up or somebody's in trouble or somebody's going through something, or maybe they coming to work looking disheveled or something's wrong. Yo, you good, bro?
Yeah.
Yo, you need
even a shift of energy. You can sense when
Bro,
somebody's not.
you can feel it.
themselves.
Exactly. Especially when you've worked with them for such a long time or
Bro,
a certain amount
of
of time.
course.
Yeah. You know when something's up.
You be surprised yo, man, you good, bro? What's up, man? I see something going on with you. You be surprised what door that could open.
Absolutely.
They could have been thinking about suicide. They could have been thinking like, yo, my life is in shambles. I can't pay my mortgage. I'm struggling. My wife cheated on me or whatever. You don't know what the hell it is. But they think, cop, I got to be a cop. I got to be strong. You got to be able to have somebody you could talk to. And our brothers and sisters reach out to each other.
And somewhere to let that out, right? Because you don't want to let it out on the job.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah.
In the field or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out to that, man. You into like TVs and movies and stuff?
Yes.
What is the best depiction of police life that you've seen on the screen?
That's a hard one. Like a police movie?
Like the one that you feel was like, I feel this.
Movie
this is the
or
realest
show or whatever.
Because, sometimes they glamorize it and make it whatever.
I like that documentary that just came out about the New York cop. I can't remember it. It was a New York cop. I encourage you guys to watch it. This dude was legit in the streets heavy before he became a cop. He became a cop in New York and rose to the ranks of inspector. Big. Retired? No, he was a good cop, did his job. But his story and what he says throughout that documentary and his journey and people that knew him from, you was in the streets, you was wilding, bro. How the hell you? And he made it and he became successful. I think that's the best depiction because I believe that one of the major issues that we have with law enforcement and communities is we need to have cops that have had trials and tribulations on the force. Reason being, because if you have a cop that never been in trouble, never been outside, never been punched in the face, never had a fight, right? So now what you're creating is they don't understand your culture.
Right, there's a divide.
They don't understand poverty. They don't understand the struggle. Now, I'm not saying that cops that never been in trouble are bad cops. I'm not saying that. There are amazing cops that never been in trouble and they treat the public great. But I believe that the hiring process needs to be a little more lax in regards to giving people a chance to say, yo, you made mistakes, but we see the change in your life. And I think you'll benefit the community. Yeah. I think that's essential, bro. Yeah. That's essential because if I show up on scene, I can relate to you. Exactly. Yo, my baby mom, yo, guess what, brother? I got a baby mother too. Oh, word? Yeah, bro, this is what I did.
She be wilding too,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it works out. It works out.
What would be better? Who would excel more? Would a criminal make a better cop or would a cop make a better criminal?
I think it's equal, bro.
I think it's a cop would be a better criminal just because they have the law on their side. And they know how to move within the law. Where a criminal just knows the underworld and they have to stay.
But now he becomes a cop.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
wouldn't he be a dope ass cop?
They say this guy has a sign. He goes, "Who would make a better cop than a former drug dealer?" Right? That's true. Yeah. Because you know what a sale looks like. Yeah. You know. Yeah. I think it's equal. I think it's like you said, I think the cop would make a good criminal because he knows what the cops are looking for, but a criminal would make a great cop as well because he knows exactly what the criminals do. Yeah.
Let's not conflate the two, please. Keep them separated, y'all.
Yeah.
I was thinking about something you said earlier, right? And we are raised in oppression.
Yes.
And later you said you were depressed, and I was just thinking like, damn, we're raised in oppression with depression.
Yeah.
So we're double negatived up to begin with, and then, you go through your trials and tribulations of life, which everyone's is individual, but coming from the communities that we all come from, we have a similar story of struggle and of trauma that is caked on top of the depression, that is caked on top of the oppression.
Yeah.
So it's not an easy thing to
come
up through that, survive that, and now go back and lend a helping hand and build a bridge to the people that
man.
don't see a light at the end of the tunnel. So again, I want to commend you on that, my brother.
Thank you, brother.
Once again, my people, before we get into 10 shots with VS, make sure y'all check out the Bookem Show on YouTube. Make sure you're following at Bookem Bridges. Make sure if you see any events, you got some events coming up, the Bridges Project?
October 26th. By the grace of God, I'll be the keynote speaker at Rutgers College.
Oh, it's my mother's birthday.
So come through, bro. Bring your brother. Register. I'll be speaking at Rutgers College, Newark, for the Young Men's Conference, which is ran by Boys to Leaders. Shout to Sarah. Thank you for the opportunity. Shout to my guy, Deputy Chief George Guzman of Haledon PD. You got to have him on the show.
George Guzman.
Bro, let me tell you, you want to talk about, he's 39 years old, Dominican, from the hood, Patterson. He's a deputy chief, second in command of a police department.
Damn, at 39? That's
Bro,
young.
this guy is a wealth of knowledge.
Wow.
And he used to rap.
Yeah?
Yeah, bro.
Right, yeah.
So he might get mad that I mentioned that.
We're going to dig up the old
but
videos,
but that's my
track.
guy. He's a good guy. He's great guy, man. So God has been, as you move in your purpose, bro,
Yes.
the people start coming, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing, man.
God
So thank you, bro. Yeah.
Yes. Make sure y'all download Bridges Project out on all DSPs. Make sure y'all go support the videos, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow Bookem Bridges on Instagram.
Yes.
Let's get into 10 shots with VSOP. This brother's going to explain to you.
Real quick, I'll just answer. I'll ask you 10 rapid fire questions. You answer them with minimal thought. We'll circle back and review your answers.
Okay, got you.
All right, here we go. You talked about conscious rap and conscious rappers. Which one do you prefer better, Kendrick or Cole?
Cole.
Ooh, nice. Again, conscious rap groups, De La or Tribe?
Tribe Called Quest, man.
Nice. If you could have a choice, if they made you have a choice, would you prefer rapping or outreach, like your outreach programs?
Outreach.
Absolutely. Better storytellers in hip hop, Nas or Slick Rick?
Nas.
Oh wow. All right, no
Slick
doubt.
Rick is dope, but Nas is the man.
Better click in their prime, Odd Future or ASAP?
ASAP.
ASAP?
Yeah.
I think so too. I like that. Better.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Yams.
For sure.
Yeah. He was one of them.
Better cop song, Black Cop or Sound of the Police?
That's the sound of the police.
Yeah.
Woo! That's my joint. Yeah.
Better album, in your opinion, 36 Chambers or Wu-Tang Forever?
Wu-Tang Forever, because that was a double CD album. That's my joint. I was just listening to Reunited.
I think that's the best double
Reunited.
CD,
Yeah, that's the best one, yeah.
Since we're on Wu-Tang, we talked about Ghost and Ray. Who you prefer, Ghost or Ray?
Ray,
Ray?
hands down.
No doubt.
Yeah.
What's a better hip-hop beat to rap on, Shook Ones or Cream?
Shook Ones.
Shook Ones?
More gritty, yeah.
No doubt. And last but not least, who you prefer, Jay-Z or Nas?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
That's this guy's favorite.
And
then you have it.
Book on you. Wrong answer.
And there you have it. 10 shots, baby.
Let's see. Cole over Kendrick. Any specific reason?
I just like Cole, man. I just think he's more of a conscious rapper. More his raps have more substance than Kendrick does. Kendrick tends to go away from conscious rap sometimes.
Yeah, and Kendrick. Shout out to Kendrick. I fuck with Kendrick, but sometimes
I like
he does
Kendrick,
those
yeah.
crazy alien voices, and you be like, "What the fuck?"
I heard you don't like We Not Like Us, but now you like it.
Yes, the video made me change my mind, and I like it. And, that video.
I didn't
was
like
still
it for a
dope
while
to me.
either, bro.
Yeah, when it first
I didn't
came
like
out,
it. Yeah, I
the
didn't like
beat
it.
wasn't really clicking for me, but the video put it all together, bro. So
Yeah.
shout out to that.
Shout to
Tribe
Kendrick.
over De La.
You always root for Tribe because they're the underdog.
I love them both, bro.
Yeah.
So
But
I
Tribe is classic, man. And they both there's no wrong answer.
And they both lost a member, so
True indeed.
Outreach over rapping, damn, that would be a tough.
Outreach is the
ultimate.
cause, reason why I rap, because I'm not trying to get listen, you never know, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying the reason I do what I do is outreach. It's not because of the rap. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
True that. Nas over Slick Rick on storytelling. Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
No wrong answer. Absolutely. ASAP over Odd Future. I would have went the same way.
Yeah, I prefer that.
I feel like Odd Future had more success though. they had more
They did more.
people
They did.
succeed,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
ASAP had it, Rocky and Ferg, and that was about
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But rest in peace to Yams.
Yams, yep.
100, yep.
Sound of the Police over Black Cop. Black Cop was KRS also?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were both. So I wanted to start the show with Sound of the Police,
That's
right?
the sound of the police.
But
You
I felt
should
like, damn,
have.
I felt like it would have been like a little bit disrespectful, bro.
Really? Nah.
I told him that.
I don't
Thank
get.
you,
I
bro.
don't get.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I don't
Thank
get mad like that.
All right, so let's say you did.
So
right?
we ended. He said we ended with that.
Right, that's fair. But let's say
That's the
you
sound of
did.
the
That would have been a terrible way to start the interview, right? The first fucking minute, you're already like,
You already. I don't like these guys.
No, but I'm not like that, bro.
No,
I would have laughed about it. I would have laughed about
You
it.
know, you should drop a rhyme on that shit.
You think so?
Hell
That's
yeah,
the sound
you're-
of the police.
Yeah.
Yeah, but remake the beat, bro. Let's work.
All right, let's do
Let's
that.
work. All right,
so there
yeah.
you go.
Remake. We get a beat remake, and then
I'll do
we
it.
bang
All
it
right.
out. Yeah.
Remake
Cool.
the beat so I can put my name on it like I did it. Then I'll be over in the video. Nah, man, I could be in the video. I'll be the criminal.
Yeah,
Shit,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Forever over.
Come on,
36
man.
Chambers.
Come on, man.
Oh,
Yeah, come on.
Wu-Tang
man.
Forever, best double disc ever.
Oh my
in
God, bro.
Ray over Ghost. Shout out to both.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout to
Shook Ones
both,
over
yeah.
Cream. Two classic, probably the 1 and 2s of fucking hip hop beats.
Instrumentals,
ever
yep.
made, bro.
Yeah.
And Hove over Nas. Come on, bro. That's the only one that has the right answer. In this
I mean,
whole thing.
Nas
That's the
did
only
beat
right
him in that battle, though, bro. He ethered him on that battle.
Yeah.
I think he killed him in that
He
battle.
said it
Nah,
didn't
bro, he
happen.
killed him, bro. He killed him.
You know we could delete shit from our. That shit just didn't happen, bro. You know trauma. You know trauma makes you black out and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that battle ain't even happened when I.
Yeah. Nah.
But like what I will say about that, and we've spoke on it before. In my opinion, I think you're right. You know, I think Nas ethered him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you look back now, Takeover is a better song.
Better song.
Takeover is a better song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Of
is-
course.
and also,
Yeah.
Of
and
course.
it,
Yeah, I
even
can
then, it
still
was a
listen
better
to
song.
it. Yeah.
It's still and it aged better. Like it's still
Yeah,
it would be
yeah.
a dope song today. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ether for everything it was. Ether was a moment.
Yes.
I think it was a great rebuttal
But if you
to
listen
what.
to it, that beat is weird.
No, it was a bit of like I said, but the way he dropped it
Yeah.
the
immediately,
moment
and
of
like
it,
it was just like, oh,
Right.
That
he
was a
killed
napalm
him.
bomb.
Yeah.
absolutely.
What were they talking about? I heard an interview where somebody, who the fuck was it? Skills asked Nas, what was it like when the Bridges overdropped?
Oh yeah. And he said it
Nas
was an
like,
A-bomb.
yo,
Yeah.
It was. You ever seen when they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima?
Yeah.
That's what it was
yeah,
like.
yeah,
Yeah.
So Ether was.
KRS
so-
was he was bro. He had some, and his beat selection was crazy, bro.
Is there an artist that you would love to collaborate with, like your dream collab?
Obviously, Pun, rest in peace, Pun. Oh man, that's a great question. I never really thought about that. Right now, it would have to be a conscious rapper, like somebody that's positive. So I would go along the lines of Cole, J. Cole. I really love that rapper D1, man, from down
He's a
south.
Christian rapper.
He's a Christian rapper, bro. He's solid. I really like his style too. So it would either be one of those two.
He did something recently that his name was trending on.
Yeah. He's been coming at. He went at Meek Mill, Jim Jones. He went at all of them.
I don't remember, but yeah, he was trending recently. Oh, it has something to do with Kendrick.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think Kendrick mentioned him and he replied.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bookem Bridges.
Yes,
My
sir.
man, my
brother. Once
My
again.
bro, he's gonna make that beat. Don't forget.
Yes,
It's-
Got you. I
all
got
right.
Oh, he's gonna make that beat.
Let's go.
He's gonna make that beat.
You do all your studio recording here? You do it here?
Yeah.
All right, bet.
Shout out to that VSOP on the beat. Shout out to Brother F. He sent me a picture of John Starks in the Bulls jersey,
There you
No
go.
way.
which I'm gonna share. We'll
That's
put it up on the gram so
crazy.
everybody
Bro,
look at
that's
it. Number
crazy.
9.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's actually more. That's worth more than the Knicks jersey.
That's
I'll bootleg
crazy,
the fuck
bro.
out of this, bro. This is my Halloween costume.
You can find it. You can find. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Halloween
You can
costume.
find that.
Stark on the Knicks. Oh, you know how mad Knicks fans will be?
When
I love it.
did you get your? Did you guys figure out? You dress up for Halloween?
Nah, I don't. I haven't.
We do. I have to. I have little
Yeah.
girls, so we do the whole team thing. Yeah.
I dressed up as Bob from Bob's Burgers when I had a girlfriend. And shit. We had like a little family. Mad
You got no kids? No kids?
I have a daughter, yeah.
Okay, God bless, man.
God
you
bless.
got kids?
I have 3 kids. Yeah.
God bless, man.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, I
Thank
got all girls.
I dressed up as Jim
Wow.
Jones once.
No way.
Oh yeah, you
Because I was working in the club. And I was like,
But I could see, yeah, you could pull that off. You could
I'm gonna
pull
be
that
an
off.
Arabian Prince. I'm telling y'all.
You should, bro. Aladdin.
Be
For
Aladdin.
Halloween, I'm gonna lie in real life.
Be Aladdin.
Let me be somewhere. They're gonna be like, yo, you look at, yeah, bitch, I own all that.
Emirati.
Once again, Bookem Bridges, thank you for being on the
sir.
show
Man,
today.
Thank you.
Gahhdcast episode 193. I am the Brother Burns, as always. Chin up, chest out, carry yourself with honor, carry yourself with pride. We're gonna fade out with classic KRS-One. Woo! I thought this would be a friend
Look at this song, man.
This is classic, bro. Come on, man.
Crazy. One of my favorite lines. There can never be justice on stolen land.
D. Shout out KRS-One.
And they got for takeover. They just watch out. We run New York.
Yeah, he's a
takeover.
beast. Yeah.
Big Bronx, Gahhdcast 193.
Oh.
I can't see it. Change your attitude. Think of where you think it got to be justice.
Yo, guys, he's disrespecting you. Guys, come upstairs. Man, this would have been dope if you would have.
When you pulled up, I was gonna be like, hide the drugs in the window.
Gahhdcast, we out. Yes, sir.
That was dope, man.